Hello. Now that I'm literally recording this right after the Harry Potter video, but now that I have, what's the word? Should I turn off the AC for this one? It's the middle of the night. I'm leaving the AC on, you guys. I'm sorry. I'll turn it off in the future. Since I've ordained myself as a booktuber now, we're gonna review 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I think I just put my rating in on Goodreads, which I'll try to put in the description. But I think I give it a 4 out of 5. Let's get into it. So here's a general explanation of what the book is about. The girl's name, her name's Genevieve, and I remember it, but it took me the whole book for that to stick because it's spelled Genevieve. Let's be honest, it's spelled Genevieve, and the fact that it was pronounced Genevieve, it was really hard to remind myself every time her name came on the page. I was about to say screen. That's how much I read. I was about to call this a screen. Anyways, so her name is Genevieve. She goes by Ava though in the present, so it's past and present. So Ava is a writer of spicy novels, basically a spicy novel series. And there's also another writer who's a dude. What is his name? Shane. Don't quote me on that, but his name's Shane. It's Shane. Shane Hall. Also writes not a spicy novel. He has like, 2-3 novels about some girl, and he's super popular. They're both popular in different ways, but he's more popular, but he's a bit of an MIA author, and they have a history, but they hadn't seen each other in 15 years? Yeah. So basically, the book is about them reuniting and I guess you could say getting closure about their past, and it's a romance. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it's very different from a lot of romances I have read in my lifetime, and I have read a lot. I will say I've read a lot of YA. I've read contemporary stuff too, so I do have all the romance experience I need basically. But it was very different. I don't know why I'm struggling to describe it more than different. Let me collect my thoughts. This book is the author tried to include different life experiences that aren't the most common in this book, but she did kind of smush a lot of those in here, which I appreciate, but I do think sometimes smushing a bunch of different life experiences into one book just so you can say you covered them all is a little bit disorganized, but she didn't do it horribly. I will say she did it okay. Ava, the main character, has a invisible illness. She has chronic pain, and that's talked about throughout the whole book, I would say, pretty well. Her and Shane both grew up in different life circumstances that are spoken on interestingly. I liked that. I liked their past. Their pasts were pretty unique, and I liked how they were described and stuff. Sorry if it annoys you that I'm holding the book the whole time. I just like it. I just like holding it. But yeah, it was very interesting and multifaceted, and I did like it. I don't know why I almost feel unsure about the fact that I liked it, but it was just so different from, I guess, what I'm used to. And like I said before, she just included so many different things. I don't know how to say it without spoiling, but there's the invisible illness, there's Shane's upbringing, which is also different from Ava's upbringing. There's Ava's family history that's spoken about. There's her relationship with her daughter, her past marriage, and Shane is a recovering alcoholic. Let me see if I can come up with 10 different things that she puts in here. I'm already at 7, so she writes erotica, which is like a thing in and of itself. They're Black. That's a whole thing of this book too. Like, they do talk about the Black experience as well. They're both Black main characters. And then a 10th thing that she includes in this book is Shane's relationships with his mentees, because he mentors kids. So there's so many different things going on in this book, and it's almost like it's not even that long, so you're kind of like, how did she include all of that in one book? And she did an okay job. I would not say it was perfect, because I kind of noticed the clutteredness of it. It wasn't too cluttered, but it was just a lot going on. But I did really like it at the same time. I feel like I'm not giving it the enthusiasm it deserves, but it was like, when I was reading it, I was like, am I a little bit confused? But I was following, but I was like, this just seems like a lot going on, you know what I mean? But yeah, I liked it a lot. The connection was cute. It was like no misunderstanding trope. I think that's why I liked it. Let me tell you one thing about me and the misunderstanding trope. Fuck the misunderstanding trope. I fucking hate it. Because every author thinks they need that in their romance book. You do not need the misunderstanding trope. And this book does not have it. So yes, okay, here is my enthusiasm. You get the 4 stars because you don't have the misunderstanding trope. Or like they do, but they like, it's like, you know, the misunderstanding trope ends in communication. Let's say they like immediately communicate the issue. They always communicate the issue. Or when there is anything that even might be an understanding, they choose to have an open mind about it. Period. Anyways, I like that. I like this book. That might be another reason why it was different. No misunderstanding trope. And you must be like, girl, have you even read enough romance if you think the misunderstanding trope is in everything? I have read so much romance, and I'm telling you, they use the misunderstanding trope every damn time. And I hate it. I hate it. So this was refreshing. I like this a lot. I'm on a Black love wave right now. I have like 30 books in my want to read. I am excited for this new chapter of my life. But yeah, I like this book. Her daughter was cute and stuff. The ending maybe could have given more, but it was almost like the book had so much going on. I was okay with the ending at that point. Like, yeah, I did want to know more about her book that she was gonna come out with. Also, her last book in her series, it was a little bit confusing because it made it seem like she did write it, but then I'm trying not to spoil it. Just there was some stuff around a book she was supposed to be writing, which was like an 11th thing happening in this book. But there was a book she was supposed to be writing, and there was like a night where she supposedly wrote it, but the book never come out. So that was a bit confusing. Anyways, I liked it though. I hope my enthusiasm for this book, I hope you guys caught it. I hope you guys felt it. I did like this book a lot. How much is it gonna stick in my mind? I don't know. It's like I liked it a lot, but for some reason it's not sticking hard. I think if people are like, oh, 7 Days in June, like the memories might come back. But maybe there's just a lot going on, so that's why it's not sticking, because there's not one thing that I could like feel sticking to me about this book, because there was just so much. But it was so, I liked it a lot. But see how I like almost can't even talk about it at the same time just because so much was happening? It's so much in such a short book. But anyways, it's a good book though. 4 out of 5. If anyone has any questions, comment them down below or say your opinions on the book also. Yeah, that was shorter than I expected because I'm kind of brain farting on this one. There was just so much going on. Let me try to think of something else to say about it. Her mom was interesting, but I kind of like the fact that she doesn't really resolve her issues with her mom, because I feel like people make that seem easier said than done. So I kind of like how that's left open. Oh, she never, this needs a sequel. She never goes into like how her daughter has like a made-up idea about her grandma. Yeah, I feel like this needs a sequel, right? Let me know if you guys think this, if you've read it and you think it needs a sequel, because I think it needs a sequel. There were just some things left unsaid, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit satisfied at the same time. But out of like those 10 things I listed, it's like maybe only 5 of them had an ending. But anyways, am I gonna check out more of this author? I don't know, because I don't even know if they have more books. I don't want to put too many books on my plate, so I don't really, when I read a book I like, I don't always look for more that the author's written unless it's like life-changing / a series, and I don't think this is a series, even though it does need a sequel. But I like it. I like it. Maybe I should look more into Tia Williams. I like it. And it's a pretty book too. 7 Days in June though. Oh no, I know why it's called that. I think the 7 days in June they spend together when they're younger makes sense for the book to be called this, but I think they also try to make it seem like when they reconcile, that's for 7 days as well. And I think that wasn't as pressed on. But 7 Days in June is a good title for it too. For the past 7 days in June, not the present one. The present one was kind of like, oh, was that just a week? Okay, I'm done. When will you guys see these videos? I don't know, because I still need to go to sleep and I should not try to stay awake and post / edit these videos. But comment anything about the book that you thought, like literally anything about the book if you care. If you haven't read the book and you have any questions about it, you can be like, oh, I like this, should I read it? Oh, I don't like this, should I not read it because of that? I can let you know. I'm gonna go to sleep, I think. Good night, you guys.